So sit in front of your bolster. Have the sacrum just a couple of inches from the bolster, and then spread the chest open. Lengthen the buttocks as you lie down. Just on the shoulders. I just want to say a word about the placement of the bolster. So when people are first learning pranayama, we usually have a gap between the bolster and the buttocks so that people don't push hard into the lumbar and create lower back strain. But as people become more seasoned and as lying on the bolster becomes more accessible, then we do place more of the trunk on the bolster such that the bottom ribs are supported. When the trunk is on the bolster, when the entire trunk is on the bolster, then there's more access to the rib cage, particularly the middle and bottom ribs, for the breath to travel, for the prana to travel. But if that is creating strain at all, then it's better to have the buttocks more forward, away from the bolster, so that the lumbar is not touching the bolster. But for those who are seasoned, it's fine to have the lumbar on the bolster as long as the abdomen is allowed to draw up and back and there's no strain in the lower back whatsoever. So once you're satisfied about your placement on the bolster, abdomen soft, moving up and back, ribcage supported, then extend your legs one at a time. Extend into the heels. Adjust yourself by lifting your head with your hands, lengthening the back of the skull as you gaze your feet to make sure that the feet are in the center of the mat, and then lower the head and release the feet, such that the little toes drop down toward the floor. Extend the arms toward the feet alongside the legs. You can kind of measure with your hands to make sure that you are situated at the center of your mat so that the mat is helping you to feel the pranic flow, the even pranic flow. And then release the elbows toward the floor with the palms facing up. Glasses are off. I have my glasses on just so I can watch. And then from here, settle into Shavasana. Allow the little toes to drop toward the floor, the outer knees, the outer thighs. Abdomen soft. Allow the outer elbows to come down, the fingers to lengthen forward. And then have a feeling of the shoulders dropping heavily down away from the ears and then wrapping around the bolster so that the collarbones widen and the chest broadens. Start with a feeling of settledness, a feeling of quiet, and a soft resting breath. Don't try to change anything. Just be here in a place of rest. From this quiet place, observe the resting breath. Observe the unmediated resting breath. It's going to be different every day. The state of the breath changes throughout the day, changes from day to day. So just notice what's happening in this moment with your breath. Notice the weight of the breath, the pace of the breath, the rhythm of the breath. Notice where the breath is touching. Now we'll start to work with the breath more consciously. For today, concentrate on the width of the breath. And focus on the movement of the breath from the center to the sides. Notice the width of the breath as you inhale from the center to the sides, widening. Maybe you'll even feel the shoulders moving down more toward the floor. And on the exhales, narrowing. Observe the narrowing of the back body as you exhale. And begin to just slightly enhance the narrowing of the back body as you exhale by drawing the spine from back to front, drawing the muscles of the back from the sides to the center as you exhale, just a little bit. At the beginning of the exhale, if you concentrate on the outer elbows, pressing down slightly into the mat, then you can access the back muscles and the spine and help to just gently move the back muscles from the sides to the center as you exhale. Let the pace of the breath be such that the inhales and exhales are about equally long. Notice that the length of the exhale will influence the length of the subsequent inhale. So be cognizant of that sort of give and take, that push and pull between the inhale and exhale, like the two ends of a scale or a seesaw. So on the inhales, feel the entire trunk. It's concentrated, the movement is concentrated in the rib cage, but it's really the entire trunk that expands from the center to the sides. And on the exhales, just a slight narrowing of the back body in order to maintain the expansion of the front body. Observe the difference between making that movement muscular in the back body and just the gentle enhancement of the natural movement through the consciousness. So
the enhancement of the natural movements of the consciousness, it does require a little bit of effort in the limbs, but it's subtle. It's not mechanical, it's not muscular, but it's just a subtle pulling in to support the lift of the spine and to support the expansion of the chest. As you observe the movement of the back body, the abdomen naturally engages. And the angle of the abdomen naturally assists in that narrowing of the back body and the lifting of the chest. Now, after this cycle, begin to come back into the resting breath. Gently relinquish the sideways expansion of the trunk as you return to the resting breath. And then get ready to roll to your side, place your hands on your abdomen, bend your legs, rest on your right side for a couple of breaths. And then sit up. All right, so sitting in Swastikasana, support yourself, support your legs as needed. And then let's have, we're gonna do some Pratiloma. We've been working on Pratiloma and Anuloma recently, and we'll continue that work. Today we'll do Pratiloma, which is slow, soft inhales, slow, soft mediated inhales through partially closed nostrils. And so we'll do with the right hand only today. And so make a fist with your right hand. You can use your left hand to curl the first two fingers in, nice and deep, nice and round, and then release the fourth and fifth finger. You can also use your left hand to expand the little gap between the fourth and fifth finger so they're not smooshed together. And then when the fourth and fifth finger and the thumb meet, it's like the three parties are coming together into a circle. More like a triangle than like an audience, if you know what I mean. So the thumb, fourth finger, fifth finger, see if they can meet as three equal partners. And let the touch of the fingertips to each other be soft. And it's like the fingernails are meeting rather than the finger pads. All right. Use your arms to externally rotate and lift the sides of the chest. We'll start with a few Ujjayi breaths. And then we'll move on to Pratiloma. So just to give a little bit of an overview. So after the exhale, the hand will come up and then you'll breathe in through both nostrils, partially closed, And then release the hand and exhale, and then take a resting breath in between or two, and then we'll repeat those cycles. All right. So from here, as you press the backs of the hands into the blanket, lift the chest, pull the spine from back to front, look up at the ceiling on a diagonal, and then with that big expansive chest, bring your head down. Nod your head yes a couple of times to make sure that you're not holding your head up at all. I'm just keeping my glasses on so I can watch. Feel the back body knitting from back to front. Sorry, from center, some sides to center, and the spine moving from back to front, just like when you were lying on the bolster. It's easier to get those actions here from a seated position. At the same time, see that the kidney band stays broad, the buttocks like the down sacrum broad. And then exhale completely. Take a slow, soft inhale, a slow, soft exhale, just to kind of clear the path. And then one more time, slow, soft inhale. Slow, soft exhale, feeling the back narrowing from sides to center and the spine moving from back to front while keeping the kidney band broad. Exhale completely, exhale a little deeper. And then bring the right hand up. Place the hands at the just above the flare of the nostril, and with partially closed nostrils, inhale slowly. And then return the hand to the blanket, palm up, and exhale. Take a resting breath or two. Exhale completely. Exhale a little deeper than usual to signal that something new is going to happen. And then bring the hand up. Inhale through both nostrils. Head stays down. At the end of the inhale, bring the head down and exhale slowly. Take a resting breath or two. And then repeat. When you're ready to start the next cycle, elongate the exhale a little bit. And while you bring the head down. And the fingers are controlling. So start the next cycle when you're ready. The fingertips are controlling the opening of the nostrils. So you can either close them more or you can slightly open one. Gita says it's like during the rainy season, if you're outside walking with your sari and you have to walk over a puddle, you have to gently lift your skirt up a little bit so it doesn't get wet. So sometimes that's what the fingertips are doing on the nostrils. Just gently opening so that the airflow is even between the two nostrils. So now continuous cycles with resting breaths in between as needed. But the fingertips are very useful in discerning, okay, what is the state of my nostrils today? What's happening on the right? What's happening on the left? How do they differ? How do they vary? How do I need to treat each nostril to see that the airflow is even? One side may be more open, one side may be more closed. See if you can use the sensitivity of the fingertips to adjust the opening, to adjust the aperture, so to speak, so that it's more and more even. Even though the hand and the fingers are doing much of the work, maintain the sensitivity in the trunk, the abdominal region, the kidney band, the back muscles. The chest, it's harder to keep the chest open when we're doing the digital pranayama because the arm is moving, the shoulder is moving. But maintain that awareness, that assistance of the back body. The back muscles moving from side to center, the spine moving from back to front, the shoulder blades, which I haven't mentioned yet today, but the shoulder blades are definitely of help in maintaining that upper chest opening and that bottom lung region. So do one more cycle. And then now from here, keeping your head down, 3 Ujjayi breaths. Use these breaths to discern how the digital pranayama affected your breath. And so now without the help of your hands, you have to measure your in-breath, measure your out-breath. Feel the air moving through the nostrils. Discern on your own whether one nostril is behaving differently than the other. After your 3 Ujjayi breaths, then bring your head back up. Rest your palms on the blanket. Just sit quietly with a normal breath. Observe the spaciousness within. Then stretch your legs straight. Opening your arms, stretch your legs straight, and then get ready to lie down for Shavasana. Now, I had been extending this class 10-15 minutes, but today I have to take the car into the shop. So I'm going to be ending right at 8 o'clock.
Can I ask a question quick before Shavasana?
Sure.
So I noticed when I do digital pranayama that like more mucus comes forward. Would it, in terms of sequencing pranayama, could I put Bhastrika in?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. So then, you could do it a few cycles of Bhastrika right after you sit up.
Okay. Because I feel like I've always done Bhastrika first when I taught it, but it's okay to put it after like half an hour of pranayama too.
So to do Bhastrika after digital, I don't know. I feel like it would be pretty disruptive because it's so active. I think that it would be better to do it as a preparation.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's so energetic.
Yeah, because it's so energetic, and I think so. At the end, you'll want to stay quiet.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I would just doing it before the digital.
Got it. Thank you.
So now resting in Shavasana. So now unmediated breath. Let the limbs drop heavily into the floor. As the limbs drop down, then there's a signal to the nervous system that activity has ceased, that physical activity has ceased, and that it's time to settle and rest. So the heaviness of the arms and legs, the bones of the arms and legs, sinking into the floor, let that help to release the spine and the muscles of the back. So I had been asking you through the class to somewhat activate the muscles of the back from sides to center, but now they can spread away from the center line, even between the shoulder blades. Feel that spaciousness. Still, there's a feeling of expansion that remains in the trunk, but it's not a deliberate, active expansion. It's just a residual effect. Let the breath now be very light as it moves through the nostrils, and hopefully you're retaining the imprint of the fingertips on the nostrils, that sensitivity. And you can feel the airflow through the nostrils evenly, quietly. But the airflow is so soft that you barely feel the air touching the skin of the nostrils. Guruji says not to disturb the carpet of the nostrils with the airflow. And with that very soft, light, gentle airflow through the nostrils, the brain will recede from front to back. Allow the skull to cradle the brain. Forehead broadens, temples soften, upper eyelids heavy. Breath light. And I will be officially ending our meeting, but you can stay and come out whenever you're ready. The resting period is important after pranayama to neutralize the nervous system, to rest the back, to rest the legs, and to absorb the learning. So stay for another couple minutes if you can, and I will see you soon. Have a wonderful day.